brand new Kyosho Foxx. This thing has not been ran. I did buy it about 3 months ago during the winter. So then I've been waiting to for the weather to clear up a little bit and fill it up, break it in, and give it a try. I did already change the tires, wheels and tires on this thing. I wasn't a fan of the ones that came on here. They're kind of narrow and they have a lot of sidewall. So I'll eventually try them as well, but I just put some different tires on here that have slightly less sidewall and they're just a little wider. I think that the truck should handle better with these, but we'll find out. Right now it's all about the break-in and getting this thing ready to bash. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and all of the screws that are in metal, I'm going to pull them out and I'm going to put Loctite on all of them. I have heard that this thing rattles loose a little bit, some of the screws come loose. So I'm going to go through and just find every screw that's into metal, pull it out, put a little bit of Loctite on it, and then we should be good to go. So and then hopefully tomorrow I'll start the break-in procedure. I actually have 2 cars to break in. The other one will be a surprise. The other one's kind of a vintage car. We'll make another video on that one, so stay tuned for that one. First thing I did, pull the body off, get it out of the way. That way I have no trouble rotating this thing around and finding all my other screws that may or may not need Loctite. Just don't want to take a chance. That screw that I just took out, it was plenty tight. I don't feel that one came loose anytime soon. I'm just going off of what I've read and what I've heard about screws coming loose. So that's why I'm going to go through and just check everything. Better do it now that it's on the bench than when you're on the field trying to have some fun. I'm going to go through and I'm going to change whatever screws that I do have for hex head screws. I'm not a fan of these Phillips head screws at all. I really dislike the fact that Kyosho uses these in their vehicles. But what are you going to do about it? There's a few hex head screws in here already. But I do see a lot of these Phillips screws. So I don't like those. So I'll just get the equally sized screws that I have. And we'll just go ahead and swap those out. I usually use my Loctite this way. I pour a little bit in the little cup and then I just twirl my screw and we're good to go. That screw was really loose, so I can see that one backing out. This one was tight. The shock ones were tight. I didn't see any Loctite on that screw, and that is going into metal. I just skipped the other two. These two were pretty nice and tight. And I always torque these down in a cross pattern, little by little, just to get a nice even pressure on the head. Now I could tell that had Loctite on it, but I'm so OCD that since I put hex screws on that, I want to put hex screws on the front, keep things even. I'm not going to pull the rest of these out because these don't really hold anything in. They don't hold that ball on the shock or anything. I don't even know why they're there, to tell you the truth. It looks like they're supposed to hold the shock from popping out, but they're smaller than the ball, so the shock just slides right over them. Pull one of these out just to check and see if it has Loctite. There's a bunch of these, and these are suspension ones. It does have Loctite, so I'm just gonna tighten them down a tiny bit. That did have Loctite on it, and on these I'm gonna use some red. I can actually see the Loctite kind of spilled out a little bit here, or squeezed out on the edges, and then I saw it from the top as well, so I'm just going to assume that these are all okay. Very tight. I'm gonna assume they have Loctite on them. These are the tires that I ended up putting on this. They're no name. These are basically from Banggood. I'm going to give them a try. Usually on the nitro vehicles you can get away with slightly cheaper tires because they don't have the speed of the electric ones. The electric ones go through tires a lot quicker than nitro. These screws were very loose. These two screws here on the steering, they were actually backed out quite a bit, so I'm not sure what's up with that. They're into plastic, so I could see a steering upgrade happening on this thing soon. A lot of these screws that are into plastic, they feel a little loose, so I'm just going through and giving them a little crank. Too many screws that I switched out. I just like I said, I like to use the hex head screws whenever possible, and since I have them, might as well use them. Put these in the parts bin for emergencies. Looks like we're ready for braking, so this will be happening real soon.